Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. The OPH Nebula. I get nebulae too, I get them pretty nice. I worked pretty hard on showing these. This is many years ago, 2016. It's how the trolling started, I guess. A lot of people really, I don't know, didn't like me jumping in, I guess, amongst them. I wanted to share all the beauty that was out there and the incredible ways and techniques that I was doing, actually. Talk all about them way back. These are not NASA images, they're my personal images from my own programs. Uh, Nothing hidden, stacking programs, cameras like everyone in the world can do. These are beautiful shots. This is in the constellation of Lyra. The constellation of Lyra is filled with suns, just like the sun that's in our solar system that we know of. The constellation of Ursa Major is in the northern sky, also known as the Great Bear. Ursa Major borders 8 other constellations, Draco to the north, for one, and a second one that I appreciate is Leo in the south. And we are also going to go see the constellations of one, Ursa Major, now, and Draco and Leo constellations. In the constellation of Ursa Major, also known as Thecta, is this star, and this is a star in the constellation of Ursa Major. Since 1943, the spectrum of this star has served as one of the stable anchor points by which other stars are classified.
Just M13, that's in the center of the trapezoid asterism, the keystone they call it, we're talking 300,000 stars, 15 documented planets inside the constellation of Hercules, and thousands more ready to be found. Hercules is approximately 359 light years away from Earth.
The most interesting part for me is always about the scale and size. I can never wrap my head around it. Now here's a star 30, Draconis, but they call it Taurus constellation is a big and prominent constellation in the northern hemisphere's winter sky, between the constellations of Aries to the west, Gemini to the east, and the north lies Perseus and Auriga. The Great Nebula of Orion has a thick, dense surface. They say it's gas. Yes, well, it's very thick. It almost looks like a planet surface. I got a very close-up shot of the surface. Many coming here telling me what I can and can't do. It's not hard, guys. You buy a telescope, you can do what everyone can do with a telescope, and there are many things you can do to zoom in. And many think it's just zooming in that I'm doing, zooming into a picture, and I'm not. I'm actually zooming in, getting closer shots with my devices. This is the surface of the Great Orion Nebula. Look at the mountains. I think it's exquisite because we see a little dot. Even NASA shows us a little dot, and I'm able to get in really close so that we can see the beautiful, everything else that you're seeing inside all those dots are all other star systems. They are birthing stars. Stars give birth inside of a nebulae. This is the Great Orion Nebulae, and inside of the nebulae, inside of the gases and all the amazing colors that we could see. Look here, we could see a birthing star, and these stars get heavy and they will fall outside of the nebulae and create massive stellar winds and so on and so forth. So many events happen with this. So there's a circulation, there's wind out there. There's air and oxygen, I believe, everywhere, and from all the movement, everything's in circulation. I shouldn't have showed any of this personal work or how I did it. I should have just showed the truth. But I wanted to share with everybody what was going on. This infrared camera is only one of the first devices, one of many, that will help me show you guys all the UFOs that are out there. The infrared spectrum and devices permit you to see through objects, solid objects. But not this device. We're not going to see through anything with that device, right? We're going to see UFOs. Look at this one. Could that be a craft? Do you see 3 lights moving on the surface? Take a good look at that. And then I'm going to show you a stationary object, the same, underneath the hazes on the surface. Could it be a parked vessel? Look at this one with gases flying across the moon under the clouds. NASA. Big infrared telescopes and mirrors can see into planets and through objects. So can the police, but not my device. I don't want to cause any confusion with what I said, but infrared devices that I have are not going to see through women's dresses with that. I tried. If you see here, the two objects are going in different directions against each other. Now let's go see a 360-degree turn. I showed it on the French channel. People said, Bruce, it has to do a complete circle to be 360 degrees. For Christ's sakes. So here it is. It went towards the craft. It came back, and it's going to go spiral back up. I'm going to cut because I'm going to zoom in as it comes back up, and it winds around. So what it does is it does an actual S shape beside and around the craft. I'm going to show you two other events of S-shaped, S-winding UFOs making S's in the sky. And here it is again, 360 degrees. An object lit up, went towards the UFO, and now went against the UFO, and now is going face to face with it. At the minute it crosses its path, it turns and it winds left and then out to the right. Complete directional change and 360-degree turn that you can see. Play it back a couple of times and listen. It's research. It's not a movie, so that's I'm getting in close. I'll get it a little closer, but it's not going to give us much anything else except for seeing the light a bit closer. You're just seeing an object basically doing a 360-degree turn. Now, I'm impressed when I see that because, listen, we're looking at the sky. Satellites don't do changes like that. Again, I'm at my fourth or fifth finding of directional change. I've showed you some. I'll show them again in this video. We're going on the moon to look at a bunch of realities. The moon's inhabited. There's someone up there, and because I'm not vetted, people think that people won't be interested in the work. I'm not looking for an Oscar. I'm looking to get support from the people that are interested. So channels are there for people interested. I'm not going to get people. You guys know it. I don't advertise on other channels, but there it is. The S shape. What do you think of that? We're going to see some examples of forward and backward motion video right here in my editor so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you having problems to see the objects, it's because you must have really small screens. I get a lot of support with people with phones. I'm so happy for that. But please look at it on your phone, but take the time to look at it at home on your computer. Very important. I keep mentioning it. You guys have to clean your screens, please. And don't ever look at these videos in the dark, these dark videos in the sunlight. You're just not going to see the UFO that I'm talking about. And when you guys and gals realize how small the object is, well, yes, I'm not showing it zoomed up, close up like a movie, because it's research. It's real. This one is very close, and this is a regular satellite. What I thought was in the sky, because everyone says, they're satellites. They're not. They're not all satellites. Do they look the same? We're looking at lights. Of course, every light looks the same. UFOs look like planets. Planets look like stars. Meteors look like stars. Everything looks the same until you get close up. But the directional change, like you're seeing right here, is beyond impressive. Why didn't I film it longer? These things appear and disappear. Was this seen with the naked eye? Absolutely not. If you don't believe me, I'm sure Cindy Lou Who saw it when she got her camera. I don't know if she's experienced this yet, of seeing objects in the sky where, excuse the voice, guys. I don't know if Cindy's seen objects through the camera where she can't see with her eyes when she pulls away from the camera. I'm sure she has, or she will, because there are many, 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 I assure you, objects that you cannot see with the naked eye, and the camera is definitely picking them up. Here it is again, S-shaped, side to side
UFO fleet on the surface of the moon over Mare Fecunditatis. Now think of all the thousands of YouTube channels that talk theory about UFOs on the moon, and how come people are not reaching this video. I'm not better than anyone. Trust me, I'm an equal with every race, every person. But I was lucky to capture these events, and they should be shared because they're real, my friends. See how it's shaking? I'm setting up with a telescope now, looking at the surface, and there again, around Endymion Crater, is the S-shaped formation that occurs when the UFO goes by. You know where we are? Take note, Mare Fecunditatis. The one I just showed you, the formation, UFO formation, Mare Fecunditatis. There's a UFO highway on the moon, and they are over all the craters, but especially over certain craters. They're appearing over certain craters. Mare Fecunditatis is an area where there's a lot of UFO activity, and is also an area on the moon where it has a lot of dusts and hazes moving freely on the surface. The dusts change directions on the surface. It's easily seen with my telescope, and by zooming into the gray areas, that's all I'm doing, zooming into the surface, and you start seeing movement and atmosphere, and it's just like any other planet. What's up there? What do you think of this? We are far away from the moon. This UFO is, anyways. It's a shadow or object UFO seen a lot bigger than the ones I'm showing you under the hazes. This one is traveling between Earth and the moon. That one would more or less be a satellite. No. Satellites are big as washers, my friends. Do you know that? Are you going to see a dryer? Send your dryer to the moon. I promise you. I promise you, at 20,000 feet, you won't see your dryer anymore. You're not going to see it beside the moon. I showed changes of lights on the surface that's never been posted on YouTube, so I do appreciate the shares. And I'm not here to complain. I'm here to actually thank the Bruce Sees All community for being the best community on YouTube. My friends, thank you so much. Here we are. We'll go back to the first UFO I showed you at the beginning, those three triangular formation lights. Excuse the voice. Here it is, under the clouds. Look at it appear. Three lights, stationary on the surface. Let's see it one more time. And there we are. It's going to appear. Three stationary lights. Could be a part craft, right? I mean, you can't say that I clickbait you guys, right? I could have written in the title, there's a stationary craft under clouds on the moon, and flip out. I never really did flip out about my videos, though. Just let people come by to see them. Thank you very much to all anonymous donors. This channel, as much as it gets attacked, it also gets a lot of support. C. Crawlface, Darla Lama, Leanne Sully, Mr. Richard Crooks, Mr. Michelle Oberson, Julia Craig. I'd like to thank each and every one of you. Michel Meltet, merci. Thanks, everyone.
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we've had a problem.